We are getting connected to the Rumble. And bum ba ba bum. We'll be ready pretty soon. I'm not sure if this part's streaming or not. So anyway, looks like we're up. Looks like we're got going here. We're rolling. We're hot. Firing off. Ready to go. Alright, well, looks like we're there. Looks like we're fired up. We're moving. Kind of, sort of. Still trying to see if I can't get us looked at here on the YouTubes. See if we show up. So, like usual, I can get at least one YouTube viewer out of this deal. Looks like there we go. Fired off. Got us one YouTube viewer. One Rumble viewer. So there you go. Once again, watching my own TV show twice. Standard practice, you know. Seems to be how it goes every time. Welcome to the channel, High Desert Music Channel. Thank you for coming by and checking us out. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. It's helpful to me. And our massive viewership here. As I do, you know, pretty much every time. The whole point of this channel is to get folks together to talk about music, learn how to play music, teaching other folks how to play music. Not me teaching anybody anything. But hopefully maybe eventually we get some folks in the chat that can give us some tips and some ideas, some ways to improve, get a little better, because that's kind of what we all want, you know. That's the point of playing and practicing all the time, try to get better at it. Yeah, it's going to be a short one this week. I don't yeah. Anyway, you know, I practiced, I played, I'm still working on those Monty Python tunes. Told you guys, anybody that watched the Sunday show, the Schechter and the Martin left the family this week. I think that corner might have gotten turned today, at least beginning to be turned. Yeah, it still looks like the original SG and the original Glary are probably going to have to go along with the amps. You know, be down to just an acoustic bass and acoustic guitar, and that'll be it. But such is the world, that's the way it goes. But yeah, I think maybe that corner's getting turned. So, you know, I didn't, not much really changed since Sunday, obviously. Still try to get some practice in, you know. Like I said, still working on the Monty Python tune, bass and guitar. It's coming along. I still have a couple spots that I'm not, you know, just drive a guy nuts, man. Like, I can play this phrase over and over and over as fast as I want, as slow as I want, and I can get it correct every time through. And then when I play it in the song, it works once out of 3 or 4 times. And I don't know why. And there's a couple parts. There's a part like that on the guitar side and on the bass side. So anyway, it just drives the shit out of me that I can play it outside of the song just as a standalone phrase, easy as I want, blah, 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 and it's great, perfect, fast, slow, whatever you want. But put it in the middle of the song, and I just completely fall off the horse, and just can't seem to get it done. So anyhow, still working on the Monty Python tune. I seem to play that quite a bit this week. What the hell else was that? Fuck, I don't even remember. Winds of Change. Still playing that one. I can play that one at 98, 99% every time. But still kind of working on it to just get it zeroed in on completely. And yeah. So it's just depressing, man. I mean, the Schecter and the Martin were my favorites. And I look at their empty spots and it sucks. The speed that these people are moving. Why do I? Where is that coming? Fuck if I know. Anyway, getting this weird echo and I can't tell where it's coming from. Doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, I think I might have come across something that'll work, that'll fit with being able to try to continue to do the show. I mean, 3 of you out there, perhaps upwards of 3 people right now would be maybe at least not devastated if I continued to, if I didn't stop. I don't think anybody gives a shit. But see, that's why I gotta write this shit down. I got all sidetracked and yeah, it's just one of those, I mean, it's nice to know that to think at least that I'm pretty sure I'm turning that corner, at least starting to. It's just, I guess as always is the case, I can see the end of the tunnel, but it's like, damn, it's a long ways away, man. So, seems like a long ways away. Anyhow, I don't know. So we'll see. But yeah, there's a good chance that, the last of the electric stuff goes away. That's kind of the last line of defense before I sell all the stuff that I used to make the show. And hopefully we don't have to get quite that far. Maybe figure something else out in between. So, there's reason to be happy. There's reason to still be pretty fucking concerned. Whatever. It's not like it's any different. Sweet Christ, man. 30 years of being an adult, it seems to be like this all the time. Doesn't matter what the bank account looks like or any of that. I don't know, man. It's just kind of the way my world operates. But, yeah. So, yeah, man, we're down to the 2 Fenders now in terms of what I play the most of. You can see them right behind me there. Those are the ones that get the most. That Fender bass, I got no problems with it. I like that Fender bass quite a bit. Though, comparing the Fender to the Martin in terms of acoustic guitar, I'm really curious to see what like a Guild bass or the Ibanez that have been eyeballing, what that would sound like in comparison, because I don't want to say that the Fender doesn't sound bad. It just sounds totally different than that Martin. It sounds kind of more hollow, I guess. I don't know what term I would really want to label it. It just sounds different. Different tone, a different feel and sound and everything about it. Not that it's worse, it's just different, and it kind of makes me wonder. I wonder, what is if that's the difference between a Fender and a Martin and a guitar? What's the difference between, this Fender and something comparable like a Guild bass, or, I don't know I don't even know if Martin makes full-size basses like this one. The only acoustic Martin bass I've ever seen was a short scale, which I don't, I've never played a short scale. I've heard that they can be fun to play. I've never played one, so I'm not going to say anything bad about a short scale bass because I have zero experience. So anybody out there, any 2 or 3 people watching, if you know something about short scale bass, throw it in the comments. Let me know, because I really don't. But other than to say, the only Martin acoustic bass that I've seen was a short scale. But yeah, I'm curious to know, how much deeper, better. Because I want to see that's the difference between this Fender and the Martin. The Martin sounded more rounded, better rounded, more well-rounded, more there, kind of. I'm really lacking in the terminology right now to explain it. But if you've played a Martin and you've played a Fender like this one, you know what I mean. It just is a different noise. They sound, this Fender behind me, this thing, it weighs like 1.5 pounds less than the Martin weighed. And it sounds like it, if that makes sense to anybody, right? Like, I don't want it to sound bad, but like, the Martin felt like a high quality instrument. This one feels kind of cheap, and the sound to me imitates that, right? The bass doesn't feel cheap, and maybe they're different models, obviously, but maybe it's a better one. I don't know. The bass doesn't feel as cheap, but it just makes me wonder, how much nicer would an expensive acoustic bass sound, again, like a Guild or a Taylor or something like that. So that is something I'd like to look into eventually. Getting I'd sure like to swing it. Like I said, I think the corner might have been turned, and I might be able to swing it that I can buy the Martin back when it actually comes back up for sale in like a month. That's actually going to be kind of close timing to where I can just say, fuck, alright, and buy the same goddamn guitar twice. But I know that I like it. I know that I like that guitar. I know I like playing it. And if I can get back the one that I already had that's broke into my hand and has, that's mine, I'll pay for it twice. And take my lumps, learn my lesson, move the fuck along, and pay for it twice. Whatever. Like, that's fucking new to me. So, I'd like to get that one back. I'd love to be able to get the Schecter back, too. I just don't think... I don't think I'm going to be able to swing that. That's probably not going to happen. And if I can, if there's any way possible to get both of them back and buy them both back, I'm gonna. I want them back. Those two are my favorites, and yeah, I miss them very much. Sad weekend, man, taking those to sell them. It didn't necessarily diminish my desire to continue to play. I've still practiced and played just as much on the Fender as I would have on the Martin. The Martin's just so much better. Granted, these are all my personal opinions, and they are marginal at best, as is any advice handed out on this channel. Marginal at best. So, let's get that clear as motherfucking mud right from the start. So, anyways, goddamn, I can't think if there's another tune. Whiskey in the Jar, and like the actual Irish version. I've been working on that one yesterday, a little yesterday, and I think a little Sunday night. I think I might have looked at it but not played it, just watched. That one's, it's quick. It's not difficult. It's not terribly difficult. I think the version I'm playing is like a level 4 version. It's not bad. It's fun to play. So that one's kind of coming into the round. And, you know, it makes me wonder, I was thinking about it earlier, if maybe this is part of, I don't know if it is a good or not a good thing to continually be picking some songs up. Like, maybe I need to stop doing that and focus in to where I can play these songs 100% correctly 95% of the time. And that 5% that I don't play it 100% correctly, I'm still playing it 95% or above correctly, to where the casual listener wouldn't notice that one missed note or two missed notes in a song. And also memorize these songs. Because, you know, as I've talked about it 100 times on the show, I tend to play a lot of melody stuff. And not a lot of chord-based stuff, a lot of melody-based, and so that can be a little harder to remember, man. I mean, when you start talking about 400 notes that you got to remember as opposed to 4 chords. Granted, remembering all those chords and when to change them and which ones, you know, the progression and such, that's not simple. I'm not discounting that by any means, man. But you know, there's a lot of notes in some of these tunes. That's a lot to memorize, and then memorize multiple songs. But I'm wondering if maybe that's some of the kind of focus that I need to, the path I need to take, and focus in and say, okay, these 4 songs are like the 4 tunes. Fuck, I'm going crazy or some shit. I need to smoke another fucking bowl. Anyhow, totally lost my place, man. Play 4, 5 songs and memorize them, as opposed to getting 85, 90% good at it, 95% good at it, and then picking up another one. And having 35 songs you can play fairly well. Maybe it's better to have 5 songs that you can play perfect, without any help, without any backing track, without anything. Get the time, you know, and the timing is correct and the music, you know what I mean, and play the fucking song. So maybe that's where I need to start focusing my energies. That might not be the worst of ideas. You know, because if somebody asked me right now, oh, you can play the guitar, man, no, no, no. Can I make a guitar play a song? Yes. However, I need help. I'm still in the position of needing crutches to play tunes. And there's a lot of stuff I can play most of the way through without. I think the timing is going to be off on a lot of them. Rhythm might be off in a lot of places, you know, because I'm just playing it instead of thinking, you know, but no, I don't consider myself a musician or guitarist or anything like that. Because I still have a crutch that I gotta tote around. So that's something I do think about in terms of my practice. Maybe I started thinking that today, that maybe I need to zero in on just a few songs, 3 to 5 songs, and perfect them with no help, no backing music. You know, front to back, damn near perfect every time. I don't know. I don't think that's the worst idea ever. Obviously, I still probably need to put more time into these lessons. Wintertime's coming around again. Obviously, we all know that. I mean, look outdoors. And so I think I think with that and the extra time inside, I think, again, this corner that I'm hopefully turning leaves me plenty of time for practice and plenty of time for the show, and leaves me in town quite a bit, not going back and forth to Aspen or Crested Butte or some shit like that, man. And it will give me the opportunity to play a lot more and at least be at home a lot more and hopefully practice a lot more because, you know, it's a shithole time of winter and it's even in Junction, you know, even around here, it's cold. It's I'm not going to go hang around outdoors when it's cold and windy in the evenings. And, you know, I need to get serious and get through these musician classes and actually start taking the musician lessons again. And again, as this corner hopefully gets turned, then that'll be back to, you know, hopefully be able to go back up to 2 hours a week in lessons by the first of the year. That's what I'm hoping. Come the first of the year, I can go back to 2 hours, you know, an hour of bass and an hour of guitar. You know, the honest truth is how far out that is depends on what gets sold. What has to get sold from here out to stay afloat until the checks start showing up. Because, you know, I'm almost 100 videos in. I got, I think, 90 some odd videos on YouTube. And maybe 40 or so on Rumble. I don't know. And, you know, it's just not going anywhere. Rumble, man, I gotta say, Rumble and the Rumble crowd, thank you guys very much for coming to check out the show. The Rumble crowd shows up for me pretty strong, to be honest, and for me, what does that mean? 24 views, 25 views a show. But Rumble seems to be pretty solid in that 24, 25 views. Now, I haven't seen the analytics. I don't know how long you Rumble folks are watching, but I still appreciate you stopping long enough to count as a view. It makes me feel good about it, I guess. But anyway, Roscoe. Yeah, I get you, and try to find the repeat spots, and I'm catching on to that one, and that's like if like I said, I was saying about the Monty Python tune, 52242325, and and I know it in my head, and it's like, okay, yeah, I know it. And playing it and so it's like, but to get that part of the repeat right, but the rest of it, yeah, dude, is pretty simple, and it's just remembering open 2 2 2 open 2 2 2 open. I mean, that, you know, it's a pretty simple tune. But yeah, catching on to the pattern, Roscoe's exactly right. Catch on to the pattern, and then it's not memorizing 600 notes. It's it's memorizing 100 and memorizing the pattern and repeat the pattern correctly and pretty correctly. And I also get what Ross is saying there too about it doesn't have to be exactly what that person played if you know the melody in your head of how the song is and you know the fretboard, which is where I'm lacking. And you know the notes of the fretboard, and you know what notes you already were playing, and then you know what, I can pick that note up here, and here. Ross and I have talked about this in lessons before, and I remember it. I remember talking about it, man. I haven't forgotten. But yeah, just because he's playing an A, you know, whatever his note or chord progression is in one position on the neck, doesn't mean I can't do the exact same thing in a different position and get the same sound. And I get that. You know what? I mean, to be God's honest truth with you, Roscoe, I need to sit around with you for another like 35 or 40 hours before I'm probably going to be able to figure that one out, like, and really be proficient. And believe me, dude, I'm looking forward to those 35, 40 hours. They can't happen fast enough, dude. Because it's killing me to not go hang around with you and play some music, because I know that things are lacking and falling off. I just know they are. I know I'm getting better, but it's not at the same level and speed that it was. But what the hell else, man? There was something else. Shit, I don't know. Let me look. The Monty Python tune, and Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. For those of you who don't remember or didn't catch that episode, I've been saying that all night. Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. That's the Monty Python tune that I'm trying to figure out. One, I played the shit out of on the bass. I really have zeroed in on one pretty well. I can play that one. There's no way I could play it without a track in front of me. Christ, that's all the bass stuff. There's nothing really there that was new. Yeah, I know this is amazingly interesting to watch me look at my own goddamn telephone. Let's see here, the Python tune. Oh, Must Have Been Love. Must Have Been Love, Roxette. That one, Whiskey in the Jar. Must Have Been Love. Started trying to pick those up this week. Must Have Been Love. That I'm trying. And also that song Fireflies. That's the other one. Only once I really tried that. Oh, then that one, I forgot about that. Okay, and so also, yeah, I Ain't Got No Body. I ain't got nobody. You know, everybody knows that tune. I'm trying, Roscoe. I know, dude. I'm trying, man. I started playing that one. That one is pretty fun. It's pretty simple. There's a jump in there that I'm learning to get. I'm getting down better. That one's like a level 4, so not overly hard. That Fireflies, I tried to play the level 7 version a couple of times. It moves fast, man. And it is all high on the neck, low on the neck, whatever you want. In the 10, 11, 12 fret area, right? So high on the neck, I guess, low on the neck, whatever. Whiskey in the Jar. That one is fairly simple. The version that I'm playing is a level 5. So, you know, given that there's 15 levels of guitar on this, that tells you about where I am. And that Fireflies version is level 7. It's the full melody. That version is the full thing. And it dances and it moves. And it's quick. It's so fast because it's not necessarily a guitar tune. You know, that's more like electronica. And banging it out on a guitar, you kind of have to keep up with what somebody could play on a keyboard. I don't know. It just seems fast to me. It is definitely above my skill level, but I'm going to learn it. I'm going to get there. I'll get through it. But yeah, Must Have Been Love is also level 7. That one's not too bad. It's going to take me several more passes. I've only played it 2 or 3 times. But the pattern in that one, again, as Ross was talking about earlier, the pattern on that one is fairly simple, and it's like the bridge that kind of throws me out of whack. I'm guessing in musical terms, one's going to call it the bridge, you know, as you go into the chorus. And then back out. And that part's going to take me some time, for sure and for certain. It's pretty intricate, and it's a completely different area of the neck. But I'm working on it. I'll get it, you know, and that's kind of my goal right now. And as like I said, I have not been focusing and taking their classes, their lessons, and moving forward like that. I've just been trying to play harder and harder songs. Good, better, otherwise that's how I've been doing it. So I'm pretty happy if I can get through a level 7 song, and like on YouTube, if you or on Musician, if you really suck, you don't get all the way through, like it'll stop. like first the music kind of grays out and it's not as loud and it's not as clear and you can tell something's up and you keep missing notes and then it just kicks you out because you suck. So like if I can turn on right now, if I can turn on a level 7 and I can make it all the way through, I think I'm doing pretty good. And then I'll do it again and again. And I think also that's something I need to do is instead of playing the same song 4 times a day but in 4 separate settings, separated by hours and hours between each one, I need to maybe play the same song 4 times, boom, 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 boom. No matter if the guy next door washing his car likes it or not. Sorry, dude. I'm going to play the same song 4 times. Not trying to drive you nuts, just trying to practice. And maybe that's something I need to look into as well, to kind of drill it in, as opposed to just the repetition of daily, like, let's hammer this one in, do it 2 or 3 or 4 times in a row, and then play something else. All things that I consider, but it's getting a little cool in the morning, playing on the front porch is not as fun as it used to be until later in the morning, and hopefully that stops being a possibility pretty soon. Then we'll be back to practicing indoors, which is why I really don't want to let the electric stuff go, man, because playing inside, you might as well play the electric stuff. Not to mention that what is left are the originals. The first two I bought. So they're definitely the 2 that are most meaningful to me. The 2 behind me right now on camera, those are the ones that get played the most. But I don't know. I'll see what happens. Man, that's some good shit. But such is my world, man. Ain't nothing new. Unfortunately, I'm used to it. But anybody out there watching the show, if you know me personally, I got some guitar cases I could stand to unload. I got one nice hard case. Ross, if you know somebody looking for a hard case, one of your students or something, the tweed one that you guys sell, that Roadrunner tweed one, I have one of those. Got a couple of the nicer soft cases too, but and cords. I got 47 guitar chords. So yeah, Ross, if you know anybody that's looking for guitar chords, I got 4, 5, 6 of them I could sell. Some 10-footers, 20-footers. I don't need them. They're all kind of hung up right now. They're wrapped up nicely. They're hung up out of the way. They're not getting beat to shreds. But yeah, if you know somebody that needs something like that, I got several. Cheap. Just because I don't need them, dude. I got, again, any of you guys that know where I am and know who I am, like Roscoe, I'm gonna have, I got a Proline 7 guitar that I don't really need. So if you know somebody looking for a Proline 7 guitar stand, I got one of those. I don't really need it. If I ever find myself needing another one, I'll buy another one, I guess. I actually have 2 of those. I have the Proline and I have a Pile that's not really quite as nice, but yeah, I do have 2 7 guitar stands. Anybody around here that wants them, I mean, I'm not giving them away. One's certainly cheaper than the other. That Pile is a good one. It's just not as nice as the Proline is. But yeah, I got some chords. I got a couple guitar stands. And anything I can kind of unload to keep me from having to get rid of the 2 originals would be, helpful. Anyways, that's about a half hour, and ain't nobody want to listen to me bitch no how. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys coming by and watching the show. I really do. It does mean a lot to me that the people that do watch. Helping people out. Here we go. Just as in every episode, here we go. The whole point of the channel, of the shows, is to get people together to come into the comments like Ross does when he's watching, and some of the other folks that watch will jump in and help drive the show, help drive the conversation. But moreover, it brings people together, creates a community where all the other shit that goes on can be forgotten and left behind, because this is about music and playing music and learning music and teaching each other music and growing and getting better at whatever instrument it is you want to bring in the room. You know, you can't have a band with just a guitar and just a bass. You need something else. You need something else. So that's the whole point. Yes, you are. Once again, Ross nails that like a goddamn hammer right on the head. Yeah, it'd be nice to just buy my guitars back and fill them up. Yeah. Well, Roscoe, I think the same thing. I don't believe that this one is going to have the same size paychecks as some of the other ones have had, but I do think this one is probably a whole lot more meaningful and fulfilling and helpful. I am one of those people that, again, Roscoe brings the segue to life, man. So I am one of those people that just really want to help. I want to put a smile on somebody's face. I want to help them get something out of the world that they don't already have, and find their way to where they need to be and want to be, because I'll never get to where I need to be and where I want to be without helping somebody else. And that's the point of the channel. But yeah, this new gig that I think, not saying I got yet, but I think is going to be my gig, is one that I never considered, ever popped up on my radar. But the more I think about it, the more I think is an interesting and correct place for me to go, at least for some period of time. Pardon me. And it segues right into this. That's the point of this channel here is people talking about music, man, learning music, forgetting all the other shit that goes on out there outside in the world that we all get overloaded with. We all do. Even if you don't think you are, you probably are, man. Like, it seeps through your fucking skin, some of that stuff, and the vast majority of it is just nasty, toxic stuff. And that's what the music's for. The music is like a big, thick, heavy black sackcloth cloak that just covers you, and it makes all the other shit just kind of bounce off of you, even if it's only for a few minutes. That is why the channel's here. That's why I keep doing these shows that nobody watches. Again, I'm just, to my 4, 5, 6 viewers, I thank you guys so very much, because I can see that it's the same bunch of you, man, and that is that is super cool that it's the same bunch of folks that watch the show. Good gravy, man. Yeah. Let me do some more professional shit on camera and get a drink and all that. I got to turn the fans off in here when I do the show, because otherwise this wildly nice Shure microphone here will pick it up. Boom, 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 and it gets warm. I didn't take the long sleeves off beforehand. There's about 68,000 lights going, and anyway. This is where I want people to be able to come together and talk about music and learn about music and teach other people music, and have a community, a place of people that want to be involved in music and teach each other things, learn things, and just be happy and find the crazy good stuff that music offers, the fulfilling things in your life that you can glean from the music and from the lyrics, from the music, the playing of the music, the listening to the music, the writing of, hopefully in my case, eventually. That's the point. So if you know somebody out there, you guys, any guys watching, anybody watching right now, if you know somebody that's halfway interested in music, turn them on to the show. Let them watch it, man. The more people we get in the comments, the more people that want to get engaged and get involved, the longer these shows go, the better the shows get, quite honestly. It's kind of difficult to figure out something to talk about 2 hours a week. It was even harder when it was 3, and as I've had this conversation in real life with lots of people, I can't just sit down and start whipping out licks, man, like a lot of these guys do in these videos. Like, you can kill 5 minutes that way just playing some badass shit. Well, I can't. Not capable, said I. And, gear reviews are tough to do with one camera and no edits live. And when you can't play music, they're exceptionally tough. And so, the show kind of really has settled into just me talking about music and what I'm learning and how I'm trying to learn and the things that are working and the things that aren't. And that's where the audience participation comes in. So if you guys know somebody that might be into it, that might want to come ask some questions, beginner to beginner, that's kind of really the point, beginner to beginner. Ask some questions. I'll try to, I'll gladly give you my marginal advice. So, we're going to keep going, man. I mean, that's all there is to it. You can't give up, obviously. That's a dumb idea to do that. And I think that the corner has started to be, I think that we're beginning to turn the corner, and things are beginning to move in the direction that I need them to and want them to. Hopefully the corner is just sharp enough and quick enough. And hopefully I don't get to that last line and we can keep the show going, and keep trying to get the word out and trying to spread the joy and the happiness and the litany of positive adjectives one can use to explain music and the things you get from music. So hey, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I don't know what the hell that was. Good Lord. Anyways, I sure appreciate you guys coming by and checking out the show. Means a lot to me, those of you guys that keep coming back. Because, I don't know how to make a TV show. I don't know how to make content. I don't know how to do this very well. I just know that I want to help people learn about music and get involved in it and gain some of the enjoyment that I have. So pass it along, share it with your friends, comment, subscribe, like, share, all that stuff, man. It's super helpful. Thank you to the Rumble crowd. The Rumble crowd seems to be coming through pretty well. Not saying anything about you guys on YouTube, because the YouTube crowd gives me a steady 18, 20 views as well. So I mean, if there's realistically 25 people watching the show, that's huge to me. So for those of you guys that do watch the show, please share it with everybody that you can. Anybody in your contact list that's not going to get angry that you send them a show, send it to them. It's an algorithm thing for one, and maybe, you never know, maybe they'd like to watch an idiot like me just come up here and jabber away, and they want to jump into comments and steer the show in a certain way. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back on Friday night, 9 o'clock Mountain Time. I won't stiff you this week. I'll get a show up. I will be on Friday night. Sorry it's stiffed you last week. We won't do that this week. We'll be here. Keep practicing, keep trying, keep smiling, and I'll see you Friday night, guys. Thanks a whole lot. And last disclaimer of the night, as per usual, the new usual, 2 or 3 minutes of blank screen behind me while I make sure that they don't cut off the end of my videos. Thank you so much, guys. I really, truly do appreciate all of you that come out and watch. It does mean a lot to me, and it is the reason why I keep doing it, because it would certainly be easy to give up with the lack of growth and the lack of movement on the channel. But those 25, 30 of you guys, 40 of you guys, however many there really are that are actually watching, it means so much to me. So thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you Friday night, 9 o'clock Mountain Time. Be careful. Keep practicing.